Thank you, Deputy Speaker. I move the motion relating to regional telecommunications coverage in the terms in which it appears on the notice paper. I rise this afternoon to call out the Albanese Labor government's failure to prioritise action on regional telecommunications. The Regional Telecommunications Independent Review Committee, RTIRC, report was released in December 2024, and while there is a legislative requirement for the government to respond to recommendations, of which there are many, within 6 months, we are yet to hear a peep, 9 months on. The Coalition's form in government in responding to RTIRC reports within the legislative timeframe was far stronger than Labor's, and I hope the government's response to the RTIRC report is not waiting until the Universal Outdoor Mobile Obligation, or UOMO legislation, passes the Parliament. UOMO is by no means a comprehensive solution to shortcomings in regional telecommunications. RTIRC is not tasked with investigating how Australia can best plan for a transition to 6G or ensure sufficient broadband bandwidth to use multiple streaming devices and web-based gaming. RTIRC looks at how to make sure regional Australians have a basic level of connectivity to participate in the essentials of life in the 21st century. While connectivity is essential to modern life for safety, business and work, farm productivity, education, healthcare and social connection, many regions across this vast nation face continuing impediments to their broadband internet and voice service access, quality and reliability, in addition to poor mobile phone coverage. As the Shadow Minister for Regional Communications, I want to point to the Nationals who champion regional connectivity and are committed to working with consumers and the telecommunications sector to design an updated universal service obligation that ensures regional Australians have the connectivity required to enable economic participation and maximise productivity gains, access to high-quality education content and virtual healthcare, and meaningful social connection. The RTIRC report calls upon the government to expedite universal service modernisation, providing voice-capable broadband services with minimum speeds and standards for all premises, phasing out the copper continuity obligation where and when that is proven and effective alternative technology, a USO that is technology neutral and flexible enough to readily adapt and be relevant to changing needs. The report also calls for system redundancy, namely that premises without terrestrial mobile coverage can access an affordable secondary broadband service. It is unacceptable, Deputy Speaker, that farmers who work out in the paddocks alone all day have no way of letting a loved one know if they've had an accident or a medical event because they don't have mobile phone coverage, let alone continuous internet access for modern farm technology. It is unacceptable that regional consumers face lengthy delays without an internet connection when a mobile phone tower is being upgraded, where their only form of broadband is via the mobile phone system, with no alternate form of reliable redundancy. Regional people deserve better. Technology is changing at pace and we must keep abreast of it, harnessing its power to provide meaningful gains for regional Australians who need it most. An upgraded USO may mean using low Earth orbit LEO satellite technology for home and commercial broadband and voice connectivity in the bush. It might also mean that LEO satellites provide basic mobile phone connectivity in areas where there is currently none, and in places where expanding of the terrestrial network is not feasible. We also need to be realistic about what these technological advances look like and the timeframes involved, being aware of what industry is doing or likely to continue to do off their own back because it continues to make commercial sense, and listening to the experience and needs of consumers in the regions who are often most cognizant of what really will make a difference on the ground. As the Shadow Minister for Regional Communications, I call on the government to table a response to this report with haste and work in good faith with key stakeholders to address the recommendations of this report. Thank you.